I saw a story about illegal border crossings in the United States. And, when people think about illegal border crossings, you think about the southern border, you think about Mexico. But I saw an item, illegal crossings into this northern state are at a 24-year high.
Is it one of the desolate states?
It's Maine.
Oh.
And listen, I'm not here to do any kind of a talk on the border, in a serious sense, although I do believe in border security, obviously. The reason why I bring this up is, Michelle, if I say to you that illegal border crossings are up and at a 24-year high in Maine, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
You hopping back and forth from Maine to Canada, Canada to Maine, Maine to Canada.
U.S., Canada, U.S., Canada, U.S., Canada.
I mean, and then having that, I don't know what he was, because
he was a border officer.
Yeah, but he wasn't really.
He was in plain clothes.
Yeah.
But remember that I asked for ID and he whipped out his federal badge?
Unbeknownst to us, there's cameras like everywhere and all the trees, like just watching us act like a bunch of, a-holes up there jumping around. Look at us. We're in Canada. No, we're in USA. No, let's go back to Canada.
Most of Maine is a land border with Canada.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a river or a lake or anything.
Yeah, it was Holton. I remember it was Houlton. It was Holton, Maine, and I-95 starts right up in Holton at the U.S. border, and then I-95 continues into Canada. We were just to the east in like this desolate, like rural backwoods, dirt roads. And this is a great story. I think I told it a couple of years ago. When was this, Michelle?
It was during COVID, like
2021?
2021.
Yeah, I think it might have been like October of 2021. We took a fall vacation, and we drove around Maine. I always wanted to drive Maine. And Michelle, knowing that I like cool little things, Michelle, remember you did searches to find like interesting like areas where the border was in just like a backyard or just the woods and Michelle finds this spot and she's directing me, okay, turn left here, turn right here, and we get to this area, we park the car and we walk up a trail, just like a dirt trail, and suddenly we see this big white like granite marker.
Yeah.
It's like a big stone and it has like a point on top. It's like a tombstone looking thing.
Yeah.
And it had a base, and it on one side it said U.S., and the other side it said Canada. There's no border wall. There's no fence. There is nothing. And I'm there, and I'm shooting video. Michelle's taking pictures. I've got one foot in Canada. I've got the other foot. Literally, folks, imagine you're just on a piece of land. You're in the woods, and there is no control. There is no fence, and I'm just straddling the border. I've got my crotch is right over the line.
I mean, isn't that how most of the Canadian border is?
Yeah, there's tons. I know this is just a lot of people haven't seen it like this. A lot of people, if you cross the border, you're going from Detroit over to Windsor.
Yeah, go through the tunnel or something.
You're going from upstate New York, like Champlain or something, or Plattsburgh. Or
there's a bridge over near the Niagara River or Niagara Falls.
You've got that major crossing. When people have crossed into Canada, you typically do it at these major crossings, and you're driving in.
Legitimate spots.
Yeah, but we're in the woods, and literally, Michelle finds this marker, and it's this big stone, and I got 1 foot in Canada. I have 1 foot in the United States. I mean, the line is right up, in my wang area. All right. And I'm just jumping back and forth. Michelle's rolling video. Yeah. I'm like, up U.S., up Canada, up U.S., up Canada. So and I'm literally, if you're watching MJTV, that's what I was doing. I was just jumping back and forth.
I mean, literally, we were like kids.
The Border Patrol station, they're in there watching you on their CCTV.
Apparently.
So they had surveillance. We, couldn't even see it. They had stuff, and they were surveilling this area. And then a guy pulls up in a pickup truck. I'm like, what the hell? Just an unmarked pickup truck. Guy, and he had shorts on and like a polo shirt. I'm like, what is this guy? Hey, guys, what are you doing? I'm like, we're just kind of jumping back and forth to the U.S. and Canada. And he starts laughing. Remember?
He did. He knew what we were doing, obviously.
Yeah.
He was just
playing
checking us
around.
out.
But he had to check you out.
And he said, yeah, I'm with Customs and Border Protection. And I'm like, hey, I don't mean to be a smartass, man, but you just pulled up in a Chevy pickup, in street clothes. Can I asked him for some ID. He goes to his back pocket. He whips out his wallet. He's got the federal ID card. He's got the Customs and Border Protection badge. All right. I'm like, okay, dude, you're legit. And he said, yeah, just making sure you're not sneaking in. And then the guy says that this is a spot where tons of illegals come in. That's why I guess it's so under surveillance.
Right.
I mean, if Michelle can find it online without going to the dark web.
Right.
I mean,
but it was really cool. And he's like, all right, so you're doing, he even said, okay, you're jumping across the border back over. I'm like, yeah, just taking some photos.
So last month.
But he was totally cool.
Yeah.
And did he say to leave? What did he say?
He did. He was like, you guys need to go ahead and move along.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Because we'd been there for a while. Like,
we're there 15 minutes.
He was totally cool until he told you to get the hell out of here.
Exactly.
No, but he was very nice.
Yeah.
He was very
get
nice.
the hell out of here.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have taken you to Holton jail, I guess.
Yes.
Fun's over. But then you found another spot.
Yeah.
And that was like a dirt road that kind of had just a road closed sign.
Yeah.
And then if you went just a little bit to the left and right of the gate, there was like a dirt road and it had just a gate. But then just go to the left or right, there was no gate. It was just the gate on the road. And it was like in the middle of like some type of field growing whatever. And again, just really kind of cool that, that's the U.S., that's Canada. What were you going to say?
No, I'm just thinking you didn't get out of your car the second time because now they have a file on you.
Yeah.
Hey, you're the boy pushing your luck from my friend in the shorts over there in the Chevy truck warned me about you.
Can you imagine? They're probably in some office monitoring, and they're probably, look at these jackasses. Look at this idiot. Look, he's got 1 foot in the U.S., 1 foot in Canada. I fully walked into Canada. I was 12, 15 feet into Canada.
I mean, they're like, how long are these idiots going to do this game? I mean, we were just having the best time.
All right, Hank, get in the truck and go stop these idiots.
They probably drew straws to see which one of them had to leave the office. All right, it's your turn. All right, so in April, the Border Patrol in Holton, Maine, the Holton sector.
Yeah, that's exactly where we were.
They arrested 113 individuals from 16 countries.
Holy crap, probably the same area that we were making a farce out of.
Yeah, one guy was like, I heard a radio DJ. He was cross the retir. I heard him on Q105.
Look at this. Fester just found this. In April 2025, U.S. Border Patrol agents in Maine's Holton sector arrested 113 individuals from 16 different countries for illegal border crossings, marking the highest monthly arrest total in nearly 24 years. So the story's even based on the exact area where Michelle and I were.
Wow.
You walked into Canada, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we both did, but I was doing the monkey act, jumping back and forth.
Top countries are Ecuador, Guatemala, Mexico, Dominican Republic, and Colombia.
Yeah, there you go. And I was from the U.S.
Yeah,
I was from the U.S. I jumped illegally into Canada, and then I came back into the U.S.
Yeah.
You're lucky Canadian authorities didn't show up and take you downtown.
You know, he didn't even ask for ID. He knew right away. We were positively Americans. We're just effing around on the border. And he didn't even ask for my driver's license, no ID whatsoever. All he had to do was, have a quick conversation with us. And he knew we were just border tourist idiots.
We were there long enough. They probably had facial recognition. They probably knew exactly who we were by the time we got up there.
He's some goofball DJ down in Florida. Yeah. He does something called the MJ. What is that? The MJ, the Most Jerk Morning Show.
Most Jerk Morning Show. Most Jerk. Look at him now.
And I saw the story, and I'm like, we're not going to have a serious border conversation here, although it is a serious matter. We're going to handle it in this exact way. Hope you liked the video. If you did, then hit the like, share, subscribe, all this crap down here.